so childlike, so natural. He had no teachings. People used to come to him, sit around him. Sometimes he will laugh, and sometimes he will weep. And people ask, what is the matter? Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you weep, and always the same answer. I weep for you, I laugh for myself. And he was right. Absolutely right. Do you know my tears? I never weep before you. I have to weep under my blanket. I enjoy your laughter, but I know it is still not natural. It is caused by joke. I would love you to laugh without any cause. Just sheer laughter. Why do you need any cause? Why do you need any excuse? Laughter is simply expression of your health, of your nothingness. Laughter is simply coming from the very sources of existence. The whole existence is full of laughter. You don't hear it because in different ways it laughs. In different ways it dances. In different ways it sings songs of ecstasy. But I feel exactly like Tankatene. A sadness for you. Because you have not yet become nothingnesses. So his tears were for others, his laughter was coming from his nothingness. And don't see any contradiction. There is no contradiction because tears are for others because they are capable of becoming Buddhas and they are delaying it. And laughter for himself, that how strange. In this world of insanity, I have become a Buddha. Can you find a greater joke? In this madhouse called the earth, somebody becomes a Gautam Buddha. Somebody becomes a Tanka Tene or a Matasu. Is it not absolutely absurd? There is no reason why. So he is laughing at the strangeness, at the mysterious existence that to some the blossoming comes and to some only sadness and misery. So his tears were as actual out of his compassion, and his laughter was also actual out of his sheer joy seeing that he has arrived, while others are simply going in circles. There is a special spider in South Africa. It is very man-like. Its behavior is very human. It always follows the leader. You will find thousands of spiders in a line. Just if somebody ahead of them is moving, they are moving. One scientist who was researching about this strange behavior of leadership and followers, he put a round glass table with raised corners like a plate and put the leader and went on putting other spiders behind and behind and behind till the circle was complete. They started moving round and round because now there was nowhere to go and there was no way to stop because the person ahead was moving until they all died, just utterly exhausted. But they did not stop till they have the last breath. They went on and on and on. And finally they all died one by one. The older ones died first, then the younger became old, they died. And the children became older and they died. After 7 days, that whole plate was full of dead spiders. And the scientist who was working on them said that it is very human. That's how human beings are behaving. Somebody is following Jesus Christ, not knowing who is this fellow. Is he sane? Have you ever wondered? All his behavior looks eccentric. His declarations fanatic. Only an insane man can make those statements. But millions and millions of people are following him. Down the centuries, 20 centuries have passed. How many millions people have died following him? They don't know where he is going, who he is. This is the way of believers. Zen is not for believers. It is for discoverers. It is not for retarded people who won't even take the risk of thinking whom they are following and why. Why are you a Hindu? Just because accidentally you were born in a Hindu family. That accident is deciding your destiny. Why are you a Christian? But nobody ever wonders. Thinking seems to be a difficult task because it gives you a great disappointment. It takes away your lives and suddenly you feel you are naked. It takes away your consolations and suddenly you fall into insecurity. So it is better to keep eyes closed, tightly closed, in case they open themselves in some moment when you are not alert enough to keep them tight closed. This way, one blind man follows another blind man, not knowing where the first one is going, and first one is almost dead. 2000 years have passed, and people are still following the dead. Not only the blind, but the blind who have been dead for 2000 years or 5000 years. Zen brings you to ask that to be accidental is not your destiny. To be existential is to be your destiny. So drop following. Just stand on your own feet and look inwards. Following is always looking outwards. Look inwards. And you will find eternal peace. Of course, in that eternal peace, you have to disappear. But it is a sheer joy to disappear. To be is a tension. Not to be is a relaxation. A haiku, an old pine tree preaches wisdom, and a wild bird is crying out truth. Just you have to be alert enough, and you will find whole nature is full of wisdom, and the whole existence is crying out truth from different sources. An old pine tree preaches wisdom, and a wild bird is crying out truth. A very significant haiku. Just you need open eyes, receptivity, sensitivity, awareness, and this whole existence becomes your home. Zen is concerned absolutely with your relaxedness, because only in relaxedness one has sunken deep enough into the original sources of life, and there he finds such joy. Who cares whether one is or is not? The joy is, life is, existence is, enlightenment is. It is the poverty of language that we have to call a man enlightened. Because when enlightenment happens, the man disappears. Then there is only enlightenment. You cannot call Gautam Buddha an enlightened person because the person is no more there. Only when the person is no more there, there is enlightenment. A complete luminous existence. From every nook and corner, wisdom is flowing towards you. From every bird, truth is proclaimed. From every flower, beauty is proclaimed. From every mountain, from every river, thousands and thousands glories. The whole existence becomes a totally different phenomenon the moment you disappear. Hence, You are the only problem. If you can dissolve your problem, it means you have to dissolve yourself. So there is no salvation for you. There is only dissolving yourself into the ultimate. And there is nothing more greater, nothing more majestic, nothing more miraculous. This dissolving is the manifesto of Zen. Manisha's question. Our beloved master, Thomas Merton wrote, if a Christian mystic has an experience which can be phenomenologically compared with a Zen experience, does it matter that the Christian in fact believes he is personally united with God and the Zen man interprets his experience as sunyata, nothingness, or the void, being aware of himself? In what sense can these two experiences be called mystical? Beloved Master, why do so many Christians and admirers of Zen try to make the two fit together? Because they cannot drop their old prison. They have become so accustomed to it. And these two experiences cannot be compared. These two experiences are so far away from each other as a lie and a truth. The God-oriented religions, Thomas Merton mentions Christianity because he is a Christian, but you can see his statement begins with a if. And whenever there is a if, there is no direct experience. If a Christian mystic in the first place, it is a if. If a Christian mystic has an experience, no Christian mystic can have such an experience, which can be phenomenologically compared with a Zen experience. No, absolutely no. No Christian can ever experience phenomenologically something equal to Zen experience, because the foundations of their search are totally different. Does it matter that the Christian in fact believes he is personally united? Yes, it matters. To be personally united with a God is a fiction. The man is living in a hallucination. It is not the experience of truth. It is the experience projected by a belief system in a particular God. And there are thousands of gods around, not only the Christian God. So everybody can choose. They come in all sizes and all shapes. It is a commodity. You can purchase from the marketplace a Buddha, a Jesus on the cross, a Krishna playing on his flute. And you can worship them. And if you go on worshipping them, you are really programming your memory continuously. Soon, you will start having delusions. A Christian or a Hindu or a Mohammedan cannot have any experience equivalent to the Zen experience. It is not a question of language only. That's what Merton is trying to do. He is saying that it is only linguistically different. They are using different language, but the experience is same. If it was same, why Merton was trying to go to Japan? What was the need? A Zen master has never been known to have gone to a Christian monastery. There is no need. He is consoling himself and other Christians that don't be worried. Phenomenologically, your experience can be compared to the Zen experience of nothingness. No, it cannot be compared, because your experience is not of nothingness. Your experience is of a God which is filling your nothingness, which is a barrier against nothingness. Your God has to be removed. And rather than removing him, you are feeling an identity with God. You are becoming one with the God. You are hallucinating. You are dreaming with open eyes. The Zen experience of sunyata, of nothingness, is not a mind projection. Mind cannot project only one thing, and that is nothingness. This has to be understood. Mind can project everything. It cannot project only one thing, nothingness. Because in trying to project nothingness, mind will have to empty itself completely. And the emptying of the mind completely, mind will disappear. Mind is nothing but thoughts put together. We call 5 persons living in a house a family. Just take those 5 persons out, and where is the family? Family was only a collective name. We call a certain group of people Rotary Club. Take out one by one members and then find out whether Rotary Club is still inside the house. There is no one. Mind is a collective name of all your thoughts. If you go on emptying mind to create something equal to nothingness, then God will have to be dropped out. It is a thought. Then heaven and hell will be dropped out. They are thoughts. Once you create the mind which has no thoughts, you have transcended mind. There is no mind anymore. You have entered into nothingness. But you will not find a God waiting there and hugging you. And remember always, if any God hugs you, it is dangerous. Because that fellow who has created this whole universe must not be of your size. He will be huge. You will be simply killed like a mosquito. Avoid any such experience. Nothingness is good. You will disappear in both the cases. In one you will be murdered, in another you will simply disperse. But dispersing yourself is a beautiful experience. Being murdered is a very ugly, torturous, experience. These two experiences cannot be compared. There is no question at all. But it is not only Thomas Merton, many other Christians are trying to do the same. Christianity is feeling that its moment to disappear has come. It has no reason now to remain in existence. It has lost its roots. It was perfectly okay for the uneducated, uncultured, uncivilized slaves. Now man is coming of age. Christianity was good for children to play with, a good toy. God was a toy. But the man, when he comes of age, does not need a toy. He needs something real. Zen is for those who are intelligent, mature, who are no more childish, grown-ups. It needs daring. It needs throwing away all kinds of slaveries. And all religions are nothing but very cunning ways to make humanity reduced into indignity, humiliation and slavery.